employee ako for the longest time before we started Taxumo. I was working, was with PNG, and then I moved to HP, and then I was doing SAP, so baka maraming Accenture who can relate. And then we were also, and then I moved on to an advertising agency because I got tired of ERP software, and then just wanted to technology. So advertising was a great platform for that. So sorry, nagkwento na ako sarili ko. But
Sure, it's okay.
so anyways, so my wife naman, see, I'll let her introduce.
Yeah. So hi everyone, I'm Ginger Arboleda. So ako naman, I used to be with the corporate environment also, no? I used to be for 7 years. I was handling like different products. Pero before that, I was working in an ad agency. Tapos nag-move din ako to my family's business, no? And which was a food franchise business. But then later on in 2012, I realized that I really wanted to start my own business already. So that's why I quit my banking job. And then I started Manila Work, which is an events management company. No? So we create training events on entrepreneurship and freelancing. And then later on, yeah, we started Taxumo already. I'm also a blogger pala. My blog is mommyginger.com, wherein I write about mommyhood and business. So siguro going back to the like how we started Taxumo. We started Taxumo way back in 2016. No, the reason why it was because of 2015 actually when we conceptualized the idea and then incorporated in 2016. So in 2015 kasi, we were, like ako, personally, I was experiencing yung pain point na I think marami sa atin nakaka-experience, not lalo ng mga Filipino entrepreneurs and mga freelancers, even and professionals. So at that time, I was having a hard time like understanding ano ba yung mga taxes that we need to pay, paano ba mag-compute ng income tax, paano mag-compute ng all of these other taxes, ano ba yung mga taxes that I need to file. So, na-stress ako, super na-stress ako because at that time, even before the tax reform law, there were a lot of forms that I needed to fill out and parang on a monthly basis, meron akong sinasubmit. So, that's what, parang most of my time, na-realize ko na parang in starting a business, we all want basically to sort of follow that passion and the desire to really have an additional stream of revenue. But then you get lost in the daily grind of basically tracking yung mga receipts mo and then tracking the computing, taking time to compute and taking time to file, going out there, pila sa bangko, pila sa BIR. So, nauubos yung oras natin. So, that's why we started Taxumo. It's really for MSMEs, freelancers, and professionals who really want to just focus later on just have more time basically to focus on growing the business or their freelancing career or their professional career.
Most first version was actually just a series of Excel files that was designed to like sort of like make it easy for her talaga as easy as possible. Kasi napansin namin every week galit siya, no, parang gano'n, no? So parang 1 week every month, kaaway niya ako. Parang bakit? Kasi yun nga pala, stress na stress niya, no? I think Ginger's too nice to say this, but she went through like 3 accountants, no? The first accountant, I think the first 2 like just disappeared until we finally found one who was really good, no? So, so the pain was real, the pain was there, and then, so what I did was, since galit siya sa akin, ano ba yung ginagawa mo? Ba't ka stress, no? So we created something that ran on her computer. And then some of our friends saw it, sabi, uy, paano yan? Sige nga, gawin din namin. Kasi her workshops are entrepreneurial, di ba? So a lot of her friends are also entrepreneurs. So when they saw that, Gina and I thought, okay, why don't we scale it up? Why not turn it into a service? So that was like how Taxumo transitioned from a tool that I created for my wife into like the business that it is now.
That's nice, no? If because I've been interviewing some people as well, no, majority of the businesses that they set up are usually coming from a certain pain point, and I guess this certain pain point is yung long hours of. Ang gulo kasi, because I'm coming from a commerce background, then no, I studied commerce in college, and tax is parang it's parang 6 units ata siya. Ang hirap, no? So
Mm,
And it's not common for Filipinos to file taxes.
Mm.
Sad to
mm.
say. Sad to say,
Yes,
no? Kasi wala eh. It's not, it's, kung hindi
kasi
tinuro sa'yo, nobody
substituted
would
work.
know. Right?
Yeah.
Oo.
So that's where I'm coming from with this session of ours, no? So if, for example, I'm a full-time employee, I have
Mm.
my 2316, no? Yun yung
Yes. Yes.
income tax, right? And dumadaan siya sa substitute filing. So
Mm.
technically, wala din akong fina-file. I don't
Yes,
I
that's
just
true.
need to sign something and that's it, right?
Mm.
But for example, I want to venture out, right? I want to
Yeah.
hear your advice. I want to venture out. For example, dahil ngayon ECQ, maybe not just ECQ, no, pero let's say I want to go into food business, like
Mm.
Mm.
yung mga
Yeah.
pack lunch ganyan dahil sabihin natin walang stores na bukas, you can
Yeah.
offer that. So do I need to have business permit kaagad sa mga ganyan or do I need to file taxes? Because I'm not sure really. I know you need every time na may extra income ka, meron
Mm.
ng ganun, no? So is that something that we should be doing immediately or medyo mahaba yung tanong, pero kasi um, do I need to wait na consistent ba siya before I go ahead and file it sa business and then do a tax something?
Yeah. So sige, just so for the first part of what you said about like employees not encountering taxation, you're right. The only time they would encounter taxation is if they shifted to another company.
Mm.
Then they would have to file their own kasi hindi na pwede substituted filing if you are with two or more companies within 1 year.
Within a year, yeah, okay.
O within a year. So yung mga lumipat ng work, yan, they have to file their own. Yan, tama ka doon. Normally, that's when they encounter, ano to, di ba? That's when it becomes confusing. Now, on to your question about our employees are like, if you have a small business, you're just starting out, are you supposed to file? The safe answer, especially since this is recorded, is yes.
Sige,
And
I'll
that
edit
you
it out yung yung hindi safe answer.
no, it's okay. It's okay. It's okay.
Yeah.
I'm comfortable with that now. But yun nga, since the safe answer is yes. Anytime you receive a income, you're supposed to like that. No?
Yes.
Having said that, there are businesses that don't register yet and they wait for the business to become stable before they register. They wait for it to grow a little bit more. They wait for the opportunity to come up and then they register. So when that happens, when they register naman, PIR naman doesn't like, hindi ka nag-register before, lagot ka. Hindi naman ganon. No? So the BIR does realize the reality of things then. So when you register normally, they would allow that pa rin. No? Okay lang yun. But yun nga, you should, as much as possible, you should. Now, in addition to that, no, I think one thing that a lot of people don't realize is that when you want to really do something, you have to you have to know yourself when you're doing something. And a lot of people, if they want to jump into something, they want to have, they want to start something that they eventually want to do forever. I would advise keeping one, like parang leaving yourself an out. Okay? Kasi this is more like business life advice na. No? Medyo hindi na tax. Pero ano kasi, di ba, pag alam mong, like, for example, if it's a business that you registered, you already started it, you're filing taxes for it,
All in ka na.
all in ka na. You're sort of like, your mindset shifts from being, this is something I can do and just stop doing later, versus this is something that I'm going to go into, and I'm the type of person who goes all in into something. So that's sort of like the benefit of also legitimizing your business.
Yeah.
There is that psychological effect that is, I would say, really important for for a lot of employees. Since honestly, for me, for example, I had to trap myself. Okay, we had to register everything, and then when it was there, okay, this is real. Now let's do this. Then it became
Yeah.
real. No?
To add to that also, Murfix, no? Parang, aside from like, yeah, na, parang if you know that this is something that you wanna do really, no, for the rest of your life, and all in ka na, so you register, you do all of the legal stuff, no? Another thing is, why are you doing this business? Parang kailangan nila tanungin yun sa sarili nila. Kasi if it's really just for augmenting the income for like just a short period of time, then okay, maybe not, no, maybe not. But if it's something that you really wanted to do from the onset, even wala pa nitong mga changes that's happening around us, and if it's something that you really are passionate about and really would like to pursue, I think it's better to fix it na beginning pa lang kaysa later on na naghahabol ka
Mm.
na tapos ayusin mo na tika kailangan ko pala mag-register, kailangan kong ganito, paano kong ganito. So timing, mas magulo pa. And timing is very crucial, no? And also later on, if you want, nakita mo na, kumikita yung business mo, kumikita ka na, let's say, hundreds of thousands or even like, kahit na like 50,000 or more, no? You want to enjoy already the fruits of that. No? Basically, let's say you want to use it for traveling, you want to use it to, let's say, loan for your car or loan for a house. You can't do that kung wala kang proof of income So, kahit na sabihin mong kumikita ka at cash, alang naman i-cash mo yung kotse, di ba? Alang naman i-cash mo yung buong amount na yon. Or pag kailangan mo na siya for visa later on, you want to enjoy the fruits of your labor and you want to travel elsewhere later on, if everything is fine, hindi ka approve ng embassy because wala kang proof of that income that you say na parang ka nagkaroon ng like 50,000 or 100,000 pesos or more than that sa bank account mo when ang kinikita mo lang sa like, employment mo this much. So parang it doesn't add up. 'Di ba? Magpapakita ka na. So yung mga ganong things, no? Like parang what the embassy will want to see is that gaano ka stable here. Like even if with your job, what else are you doing here? 'Di ba? Like yung ganong klase. Like timing is everything really, no? When it comes to business.
And to add to that, CBA, I'm not saying this to scare people, but this is really something that's we've seen happen. The BIR is beefing up their analytics team. So we have people who approached us kasi may natanggap na lang silang may penalty sila. Mainly even without registering meron silang penalty because nababangga ni BIR yung data. Probably they serviced like a client that then withheld a certain amount from them. Kasi pag nag-withhold ka, that client would have submitted details of the amount they withheld. So parang yun, nababangga na ni BIR. Oh, bakit dito may binayaran pero itong taong to wala naman itong registration Yun, nagpe-penalty.
Oh.
Ganon. So in fairness, di ba, ang galing din ng BIR na they
They're
are
starting to do that, no?
sobra. Kaya rin ang daming sinasubmit kasi lahat ng yon in fairness, ginagamit din naman talaga nila, no? Pero yun,
kailangan ng pera. Kaya they need to
galing, no?
have, no? Okay. All right. So going to that, let's say, sige, let's have another angle. I know by sa office namin, right? Madami sa amin ang nasa professional service or yung parang, let's say, life insurance or real estate.
Yes.
So how do they go about, like, I'm full-time employee, I'm part-time real estate or part-time life insurance or part-time, let's say, ano pa ba yung mga like Avon or Mary Kay. How do I file for this taxes?
Yeah. Multi-level marketing meron din. Yes. So So it's a good question, as an employee, basically, well, the first thing is when you're registered, as Ginger said, no, when you're registered, kasi you're assigned different types of taxes that you have to comply with. The taxes that we're familiar with as employees is usually income tax only, but that's just one of many. Okay, so when you register, normally they will say, okay, you have income tax since you're earning less than 3M. Sige, you will be non-VAT, so may percentage tax kang babayaran, that's something else. And then let's say nasa mood yung officer of the day, kailangan mo rin mag-withhold, so may sasubmit ka rin withheld taxes. So may mga ganon, no? But essentially, based on like all of those things that you're supposed to file, throughout the year, you just file for the business, okay, not for the employment. So you just file for your business. Let's say, sige, I have, I'm selling insurance, no? I'm selling insurance and may kinita ako. Yan, by the way, yung sinabi kong example kanina, he was insurance. So a lot of people who are insurance, nahuhuli kasi yung, syempre,
Okay.
before they pay, nagwi-withhold yan. So
Yeah.
anyways, going back to my point now. Normally, when you get paid by your client, which is Pru Life or Sun Life or Manulife or whoever, those other insurance agencies, what happens is you file periodically throughout the year, at least quarterly yan, no? But you're filing just for that income, for the life, for the insurance agent business, basically in this example. End of the year, when you file your annual income tax, dyan mo na ihalo yung employment mo. Okay, so when I say halo, so since you have a business, you are no longer eligible for substituted filing. Now you have to file your own income tax. Okay? And when you do that, basically what happens is you enter all of the income you got from your business, and then meron dong fields na ilalagay mo yung income from your employment, tapos doon, makukompute mo na how that works. No? So essentially, you have to file income tax. Yung annual income tax lang, doon lang sila nagmi-meet yung employee mo and yung business mo.
Okay. So do I need to apply for a different tax ID for that, or do I need to apply anything sa government?
Yeah.
Kasi
So,
because I yeah, go ahead.
yeah, yeah, you're right, no? Kasi like for any kind of business, okay, so ganito yan. If you're self-employed, meaning kunwari ikaw lang naman, you're practicing a profession, you, let's say, built a sole proprietorship business, or if you are a, let's say, virtual freelancer, you're a tutor or whatever, online, no? Online tutor, VA. So, all of these kinds of people have their own tin, di ba? Meron na tayong sarili nating tin. Especially kung naging employee tayo prior to this, no? So all of us have that tin, and that's the tin that we use when we register at the BIR. Pero we need to register a business, basically. So how do you know if you've registered a business or a profession? If you go to different stores, di ba, sa brick and mortar stores, makikita mo yung nakapaskil sa wall na merong paper na yellow or blue paper na nilalagay nila sa pader.
Katabi ng
Yeah.
Yun, katabi ng ask for
Mm.
receipt. So, yun yung tinatawag nating Certificate of Registration or the COR. COR or Form 2303. So, itong form na to, this is basically, when you think about it, it's like basically a profile, no? Profile mo yan with a BIR. So, what does your profile contain? Your profile contains your TIN number, obviously your personal TIN number, your address, your industry, line of industry, basically, the type of taxes that you need to pay. Yung sinabi nga ni EJ, yan yung mga typical na type of taxes that you need to pay. The date when the COR was issued. So basically, from that date onwards, you need to pay taxes already. So wala ka na dapat mas-skip talaga na tax pag inisyuhan ka nun. Together with the COR, when you register kasi sa BIR, together with that, you also get an authority to print. So that is also a form. That form naman, ipapakita mo yan sa accredited printers so that they can print an OR, not an OR booklet, but 10 OR booklets on the onset for you. And then also, when you get your COR and the authority to print, you'll also be asked to buy books of accounts. So mga manual columnar ledgers yon. Tapos tatatakan na yung BIR. So ganun siya. So those are the three things so that alam mo na you're registered already as a business and a professional.
Just to add to your point, Murphix, no, do we need to get a new tax ID? So basically, ang tax ID, that's a unique ID assigned to a person. Each person has one tax identification number in the Philippines. No? So the TIN ID, di ba normally it's like 12 digits. The first 9 digits, yung actual TIN. And then the last few digits, that's called the branch code. Okay? So the first 9 digits, that's like yours forever until you die. No? So yan na siya. But we are natural people, natural persons. There is something called a juridical person, which is a corporation. So corporations, sa mata ng batas, they're people. So they also have their own TIN. Okay? So now when you register, and when you register as a sole proprietorship, or you register as a professional, you are saying that this is me registering. Okay? So use my TIN. So, ganun siya. So, ang mangyayari is the COR will say, okay, this tin has a registered business with it. Let's say, kunyari, okay, insurance agent, gumawa ako ng ganon, meron ako ng COR, and then na-decide ko, oy, sige, gawa ako ng kiosk. Tapos sole prop din. So in that case, the BIR will actually use the same tin, but magiging iba yung branch code, magiging 0001 instead na 0.
Mm, okay.
Okay, ngayon when I register, let's say, binuo namin yung Taxumo, kami ni Ginger and my co-founders, no? We built Taxumo, we registered it, Taxumo has its own tin. Because as a corporation, it's a separate person.
It's a separate entity.
So, ganun siya. Oo.
Tapos I think, Murfix, yung isang question siguro ng, let's say, no, ng mga employees dyan would be like, paano yun? Kasi yung RDO, yung TIN ko, parang alam ko naka-register na siya or naka-attach siya sa RDO ng company ko. RDO means Revenue District Office. So your TIN kasi is usually attached to before, no, sa, let's say, the city kung saan ka nagtatrabaho.
Register. Okay.
Oo, ganun siya. So, but recently, no, the BIR already said that employers need not require their employees to register or transfer their TIN to the TIN of the employer. So, pwede, ngayon, all of us, yung TIN natin, naka-attach already to our residential basically residential address, no? So, if you're a sole prop, for example, I'm sure marami dyan na nanonood na naka-attach already yung TIN nila kasi sa city ng employer. The first thing that you need to do is check kung saan naka-register yung TIN mo, and then we have to transfer your TIN if you want to start a business or a professional. You have to transfer that TIN to the RDO or Revenue District Office kung saan yung residential address or whatever business address that you're gonna use. For example, ako, let's say, nakatira ako sa Pasay and yung previous employer ko, let's say, kung saan ako nagtatrabaho, nasa Quezon City. So I need to transfer yung Quezon City 10 ko muna to Pasay and then register it. So may isasubmit pa ako parang application form for transfer sa QC before I can transfer sa Pasay or register in Pasay. So, ganun siya. That's why may mga questions about, kailangan ko ba transfer ng RDO, ganun.
Okay. So going back sa mga like you mentioned, may sole proprietor, may ganyan, no. I'm reading a lot of books na sana sa US kasi yun naman yung mga financial books is usually dun galing, no. Ang lagi nilang sinasabi is have a corporation kasi or that would save you sa taxes and stuff like that. In the Philippine context, I see the same way na parang it's better to set up a corporation. Sa ngayon may may one person corporation na.
Yes, one person corporation.
Sige, that's a bit complicated, no. If you are looking at saving on like income tax, I think the balls in the air. You don't really save more if you're a corporation. You don't really save more if you're sole prop. Mainly because, di ba, I think a lot of these business books and like the ones I read are the ones by Robert Kiyosaki, for example. They would say na pwede ka mag-charge na, kunyari, kumain ka sa labas, charge mo against your business. You can also do that as a sole proprietorship. So you don't need a corporation for that. One of the big differences between starting a corporation and starting a sole prop, though, is the question of liability. Okay? Because a corporation is a separate person. Yan, yung nabanggit ko kanina. Therefore, let's say there's less personal liability if you build a corporation. What does that mean? So let's say yung corporation mo umutang sa bangko ng 1 million and then nalugi, hindi niya mabayaran, the bank normally won't be able to go after your assets as a shareholder or as an owner of the corporation. Okay? Ang tinatawag doon, there's the corporate veil. Okay? So, hindi pwedeng lumusot yung bangko through that corporate veil and go after the owners because the corporation is a separate person. As opposed to sole prop, let's say may sole prop ka and then you start a business and then you'd get a loan from the bank, hindi mo mabayaran, the bank will go after you because it's you that is the business. No? That's the main difference. Now, the flip side of that is that a corporation has a ton of regulation that you have to comply with. Okay? So, bawat galaw mo, meron kang kailangan i-submit. So, for example, mag-open kang bank account, dapat meron kang secretary certificate, dapat meron kayong board resolution. Ang dami. Every time you go into a partnership, meron kang bagong customer, dapat meron kayong board reso, sec cert. Basta, ang dugo niya, no? Aside from that, there's also like compliance that you have to comply with as a corporation na usually mas madugo and mas marami with more offices with, let's say, SEC, no? As opposed to being sole prop, there's a lot less. There's a lot less. Basically, usually what you just file is BAR periodically throughout the year, and at the end of the year, most likely if you're sole prop, then you'll just register sa mayor's permit again. Yun siya. So it's a lot less. And I think a lot of people, and this is from what I've seen, no, a lot of the businesses that I saw closed because regulation was killing them. Meaning, ang dami nilang kailangan gawin. So much so that it wasn't enjoyable anymore, or they had to have an actual employee on board to help them with it. And, their plan was, hindi, ako lang dapat to eh. I just wanted to be a speaker, for example.
Yeah.
So that no, there is that kills them. So that's the flip side. That's sort of like the main consideration, I would say. Ngayon yung sinasabi nila Robert Kiyosaki na mas cost effective ang corporation, usually it comes in when it's estate planning, mana, assets, yan. When you're managing assets,
Mm,
that's where a lot of it will become more relevant. And that's already going into wealth management, which I will not claim to be an expert on. Pero that's where the benefit of having a corporation lies, no? Having said that, if you do want to start a business, I would say, ang dami yung iisipin simula pa lang. Believe me. The last thing you want to think about is gobyerno. So I would say go for the option that's easiest. Start that. And then later on, pag mayaman ka, then start your corporation.
Yeah.
Kasi ipapamana mo na sa anak mo yung business. Then do that.
Yeah.
Pwede naman yun eh. Nothing stopping you from doing that. Yeah.
Kasi another reason why naman really you want to build a corporation is later on if you're gonna take in investments. So
true.
if you're talking about like equity shares, selling equity later on for your business. But if it's someone like baking cookies at home, I don't think like it's something that they want to consider at this point in time pa. Unless like you're gonna like build a franchise, diba? Or something like that later on. But if usually we usually start naman our business and try to validate it during the first few years of the business. And then once it's bigger and it grows, so that's when we sort of like decide if we really want it to be a corporation, we want it to be more established, if we want to take in investments, if we want a loan to grow, diba? So, yon.
right. So, kasi ano yan eh, parang there's so few of mga libro na yung parang dapat magbe-base sa Philippine environment, no? So, what we have are usually mga advices from books na coming from US, coming from Europe or somewhere else, no? So, minsan hindi siya talaga relevant, no? So, yeah, I agree siguro, no? Para kung if you have business, let's start somewhere na madali. And then, there's nothing wrong to, yun nga, form a corporation later on, no?
Yeah.
Right? So,
Yeah.
another question, no? Siguro one of my last questions, or maybe two, right? Let's say, because I'm also saying sa mga friends and then colleagues ko is you need to start investing, right? So either mutual funds or UITF or stocks. Do I need to, because I know sa stocks may mga capital gains na ba yun or something, right? So do I still need to file tax somewhere separately? Or kung employee ako, okay na sa akin yung 2316? Yung
Ah,
parang ganong idea, right?
Oo, I get that. Normally, capital gains are, ang ini-impose na tax sa kanila are called final withholding taxes. So what does that mean? That means na yun na yun, tapos na. Basta withhold, hindi mo na kailangan i-file. So most of the time, for investments, yung mga stock market investments, they would usually fall under final withholding tax. In which case, when you file, you don't need to include those. Okay? But having said that, I would make sure that it's final withholding tax. Kasi kung hindi pa na final, then that means you need to file. But most of the time, yes, it's final naman. I think you also had a question, Murfix, on like hindi mo pa nabibenta, nag-appreciate lang ng value, pero hindi pa siya nagiging
Yes.
kumbaga, 'di ba? That's unrealized gain. So normally no, you don't file taxes naman for unrealized gain. Normally you will only file tax pag may nakuha kang bayad. So yun, oops, nagsipa yung table.
Income.
Normally that's usually where things like that apply.
So I have a scenario, no?
Mm.
Because I'm not sure, but for the company I'm with, no, um, we have what we call yung employee share purchase program,
Mm.
where we get to go to discount from purchasing stocks, right?
Mm.
Um, so we get that discount. For example, I bought it kasi dollars yun eh, sa US. Let's say US to.
Mm.
Yeah.
I bought it sa US, and then may discount akong 15%. So unrealized
Correct.
pa siya. Ako pa siya binebenta. So I think that's okay
Oo.
pa, no?
Kumbaga wala ka pang income.
Yes. Okay. So what if
Then,
I sold it and
mm.
then may tax siya, pero kasi foreign siya, do that do I still need to file it here na sabihin ko I have another source of income na galing sa US, let's say, sa US stocks, binenta ko siya doon, kumita ako ng $20.
I think
Right?
yan na yung mga W2, yung mga ganyan, di ba? Yung mga
Yes,
Forbes.
yes, may ganun eh. So may W2, may exemption ka dun sa US na they're not getting tax from you kasi non-US resident ka,
Oo.
right?
Oo.
But dito, kumita ka. So, I'm not sure kung, I definitely hindi siya, wala siyang withhold na tax, no, or yung gain na
Oo.
tax na that. Is that something I need to file on my own?
The safe
Technically, yeah.
answer, oo, I get what you're saying, no? Basically, binenta mo na, tapos kumita na, may natanggap ka ng income. The safe answer is that always think na yes, you have to file. Okay, so that's a safe answer. Most likely, you will have to file. Having said that, I'm not an expert on the intergalactic, sasabihin ko, intercountry intercountry
Mm,
rules on taxation. So I would
National
for
tax
that one,
rules.
that's I would recommend maybe you can talk with an accountant for that, and that's something we can probably ask them. But I would think I would assume that actually that's income that's taxable. Kasi normally the only time why yung nabanggit ko kanina final withholding tax, the reason why
yeah.
it's not taxable anymore is because yung nag-withhold nung tax, binayad niya na.
Kasi Philippine, ano siya,
Local eh. Pero kung
yeah.
sa states yan, alam naman magbabayad yung, let's say, Accenture, tapos babayaran nila si BIR, di ba? Kasi kumita yung stock. Of course, they won't do that, no? So yun lang. Baka, I think, I would assume that there is tax to pay for that. But having said that, I'm not an expert. I would defer to an accountant, actually, for a CPA or a lawyer for that. Yeah.
Okay, because I know there's also yung Amazon. I'm not sure if you're familiar with Amazon
Mm.
FBA, yung fulfilled by Amazon, right? So that's something na nasa US din, no?
Fulfillment by Amazon.
Ah,
Right?
Yeah.
So that's something
Yeah.
na kumikita ka sa US. So I'm not sure if yung
oh,
kita mo doon,
that one
definitely
is
you need
more
to file that as well.
straightforward. Oh, yung mga dropshippers, yung mga ganun, no? That one, for sure, they
For
have to
sure.
pay taxes.
Yeah. E-commerce
Mm,
Oh.
trade.
Mhm.
So yeah, that one is like income kasi talaga.
Oo, that's straight
And
up.
that's regular income if they do it on a regular basis. No? So anything that you actually receive as income sa Pilipinas, be it galing siyang PayPal, be it galing siyang whatever international fund transfers, no? But it's income that you receive on Philippine soil, kailangan mo pa rin siyang i-declare. Yun.
mm,
We're not too familiar with yung sa shares, no? Because it's probably because it's not regular, so I'm not sure like really how that comes into play. Yun. Pero if it's like selling on a regular basis, kailangan siya.
Oo.
yeah. Okay. All right. So I know Taxumo is doing tax, no? I is like how do we avail of your services and like because because I know I have a slide here for you. No? Can we go to your slide dun sa Taxumo? What's
Oh,
Taxumo
sure.
about? So
Yes,
that
Yes,
please.
yes.
Yes, please.
Sure.
I think most of the things na pinag-usapan natin is something you cater to. I'm not sure, no, kung
Yes,
Yes.
but
correct. Yes, yes.
okay, all right. So let me do that.
Sige. So, while you're doing that, siguro I'll give a brief like background on Taxumo. So, Taxumo naman, what we really do is we focus on taxes. So, it's a system for automating taxes, basically, for professionals, for freelancers, for business owners in the Philippines. So, we also have auxiliary services like business registration. So, if you need help on business registration for any kind, no, even corporations and partnerships, we can do it for you. Ayan. So, in the screen, you can see that's our URL. So, just go to taxumo.com and then you can see all of the information there about Taxumo. Mhm.
Can you? I'm
Yeah.
not sure if you
Ano ba
can
daw
look
ang
at the
namin?
slides, no.
Okay,
Sa
sige.
Raffle.
There. Okay.
Okay.
Sige.
Oh,
We'll,
sige, ako na.
sige.
So basically, how Taxumo works, it's a web application. A lot of people assume when they hear app kasi it's like mobile.
Mobile.
But for Taxumo, it's a web application. No? So you actually visit www.taxumo.com. You can do it on your desktop, on your phone. It's optimized for mobile as well. So just visit that, sign up. And how it works kasi is Taxumo is, as I said, it's mobile responsive. And then as a user, all you have to do is you have to enter your income or expense. Okay?
Mhm.
And then once it's entered, so this is the sample screen. We're actually working on something that makes this even more simple. Pero the idea here is that you enter your name, your customer's name. This is for VAT, no? So it's a lot more.
Mhm.
It's a lot more complicated. But usually for a small business, if it's non-VAT, just three fields ang kailangan namin: the date, the amount, and the category. Yun lang, no? But you just enter it, no? Enter your income and expense, and in real time, Taxumo computes your taxes, no? A lot of people don't realize, and this is something that we experience as business owners ourselves. One of the tricky things about taxes is that, especially if you have an accountant or someone else doing it for you normally will get, you normally ask the accountant near the deadline na. Di ba? Na, hey, ito yung mga forms ko, ito yung mga income expense ko, ito yung mga resibo ko, magkano ba babayaran ko? And then you hear, like 2 days before the deadline, ito due mo, 20,000 pesos. So wala ka ng pera, inikot mo na, pinambili mo na ng raw mats again, no? So the challenge is that you always don't know how much you have to pay. So one of the key features that we have in Taxumo is called real-time tax calculation. So for every income or expense you enter, nag-auto-compute si Taxumo kung magkano yung dapat mong itabi for taxes. So wala ka na ng tax bill shock, what we call it.
Oo,
No?
tapos hindi mo na kailangan talaga matutunan yung like computation, yung nitty-gritty details of like how to compute income tax or how to compute percentage
Yes,
tax.
oo. And then, of course, needless to say, the forms are automatically submitted as well. So when it's time for deadline or when you're comfortable na, then just file the form, and then you'll see the form filled out, and then you just press a button and it's submitted to the BAR. And then, here's the thing, no? You can also pay online through us. And you can do that via whatever channel is easiest for you. Let's say you have a lot of GrabPay credits, then you can use GrabPay. If you have a credit card or debit card, you can use PayMaya in this case. If you have, a PayPal account, then you can use PayPal. You can also use, for example, Robinson's department stores, Cebuana Luwilier, M. Luwilier. Kasi yun yung malapit, okay lang. We also accept payments through there, no? So there are options available. Normally kasi, when you pay your taxes sa BI, you have to pay at a list of specific branches that are accredited by your RDO. Okay? By your RDO. Hindi pwedeng basta BPI. Hindi pwedeng ganun, kailangan yung BPI na accredited ng RDO mo. So you really have to take time to make sure that because you have to bring it there to that RDO, to that branch. So what we did was we democratized that. We opened it up. You can now pay via any means, and we will remit your payment. We also have digital books of accounts. So what happens is that nabanggit ni Ginger, when you register, you need to have ledgers that you have to fill out. So with Taxumo, we actually help you out in that case. There are reports that you can generate and then you just copy kung ano yung nandoon sa reports na yun into the ledgers because the BIR will always require that you fill those out unless you get what's called a loose leaf accreditation. So what it means is that instead of the books, I will just print out these reports and that's gonna be my books. Okay, you can get that as well through your RDO. If your RDO approves that, then you can use basically Taxumo for your books of accounts. Easy na lang. And then also something that we're proud of, Taxumo learns. We implemented something wherein Taxumo can recommend ways for you to save on taxes. The more data you enter, of course, the more complete your data is, then the more robust or the smarter the recommendation will be. So yeah, so there are recommendations that will tell you, okay, you should opt for this tax option because it's gonna result in savings for you. That's something that's automatically given to you by Taxumo. If you also if you're the type of person you want someone, you want an expert looking at your books, that's not a problem. No, we have a lot of users who also have CPAs actually, and what they do is number one, they set their CPAs as delegates in their Taxumo account, so that the reason why they do this is they want to see that their delegate, in this case the person doing the entry for them or the filing for them, is actually doing it. So they're monitoring that it's being done, no, through their dashboard basically. If you don't have an accountant and you want an accountant or you want to talk to an accountant, we also have a list of vetted CPAs who can help you. We've worked with them. We trust these people. We can actually like refer you to them, no? And we've agreed on rates that are favorable for a business owner as well. If you don't want a CPA for forever because you just have specific questions, you just need to talk to someone, to an expert. There's a service that we call Taxumo Consult. So you just pay $20 and then you get 45 minutes one-on-one time with a consultant. No? If you have any questions about Taxumo, we have customer service reps or customer advocates that are ready to answer your question from 9 a.m. to 12 midnight every weekday. Okay? Also, we have free online onboarding calls so that you understand how to use Taxumo. So just feel free to join any one of those and then you can see whether Taxumo is a tool that works for you. So ito yung nabanggit ni Ginger, the other services that we have. We also do business registration. This was paused for ECQ, no? Kasi sarado lahat eh. But right now, we're starting the service again. There's a lot of still like gray areas as to like which offices or government offices are open and how open they are. Kasi sometimes they're just skeleton support or something. So in that case, then, anyways, that's something we're
But
figuring
don't
out.
worry, like you can reach out to us, no? You just email us at customercare@taxumo.com. Tapos we'll check naman if we can, I think we can do it, but yung duration lang siguro before it's completed. Yun lang yung hindi namin ma-determine as of yet.
Yeah, oo. Aside from that, you can also pay your SSS and pag-ibig through Taxumo. So any voluntary contributions that you have, you can actually pay them through Taxumo as well. No, PhilHealth is something that we're working on, and hopefully it's something that gets live soon. And these are the plans of Taxumo. This is basically a monthly subscription plan that you opt for. So there are 3 plans depending on the tax types available to you. 888-1888-2888. And when you log on to Taxumo, Taxumo will actually, parang may wizard. It walks you through some questions and it will determine the plan that's most economical and optimized for you. No? We won't force naman like 2888 if you don't need 2888. No?
Tsaka just, when you sign up naman, it's free. So don't worry about it. Hindi pa kayo i-charge for this. If you just want to try it out and test it out. And then, yun nga, yung sabi ni EJ, it will recommend the best plan for you based on the answers that you have. Pero assuming that this is like a side business, apart from your day job, probably you'll fall under the 888 or the 188 plan.
One of those, no? Some other services, umulit, I'm sorry. Yun, so that's it, no? I think, should we talk about Petro?
Yeah. And also, I'd like to share then, Murphy. So we have this campaign called the Time for Hope campaign. So it's still running. So the Time of Hope campaign, we're giving out discounts for people who have been, for businesses, professionals, and freelancers who have been affected by the pandemic. So all they need to do is write a letter to customercare@taxumo.com, and then their letter will be part of the pool that the board reads So that, and then mabibigyan ng mga discounts or ano, yung mga chosen letters.
Mm.
Yeah.
Mm. Yeah. Okay. So just one quick question, no.
Sure.
Um, I'm an employee and
Right.
I don't want to, like, let's say I'm
Yeah.
doing life insurance or something on the side, basic shop,
Correct.
Mm.
like nagbebenta sa Shopee or sa Lazada. Can I use Taxumo for me to be worry free in terms of my taxation?
Yeah. Oh, let's
Yeah.
say you have a business on the side. No, that's your question.
Yes.
A business on the side, then yes. Sumo actually has a. We thought about people like that, no. So they will actually be filing. Yung nabanggit ko, they will be filing through Taxumo yung mga commitments ng business nila.
Mm.
And then at the end of the year, there we have a functionality wherein you can declare kung ano yung nasa 2316 mo, and then si Taxumo na yung maghahalo ng numbers.
I
Mm,
think with
okay.
since we're talking about like being free, diba? So one of the things that we want to instill sa mga business owners natin, when you get into something, obviously, no, if you're really serious about it, like go all in and fix already yung mga, kumbaga nga hashtag adulting, no? At the onset pa lang, you have to fix already the stuff that you need to fix, no, in terms of compliance. So, for example, marami kaming nakikita ng mga business owners, no, prior to this pandemic, no, na hindi natin na-track yung income natin, magkano ba talaga yung kinikita natin or magkano ba yung ginagastos natin. So, that alone, no, tracking alone is something that we should do as business owners. And we made it easy, no. It's a simple, like Taxumo is a simple, parang budget tracking app, pero really for business. So, you just input your income and expenses and then you can see already your tax dues, all of these things. So, but going to that, it's really habit, no? We have to instill that habit sa mga business owners natin so that alam natin whenever times like this come, na hindi, yung mga unforeseen circumstances, alam mo right away, like, meron ka bang kinikita, meron ka bang tinabi on the side, meron ka bang, how much do you actually earn from your business, no? Like, less all of the expenses that you have. So that's what we want to sort of help people with also. Not only taxes, but really yung running the business, no? In terms of running the business, make it easier for them and make it more transparent also kung ano yung nangyayari dun sa business nila for them. Yun.
Right. And then one more thing I realized, no. Kung
Mm.
hindi ka nagbabayad ng BIR, they wouldn't know, like for example, COVID-19, no, they wouldn't know na may business ka na. They would not be able to help you out, right? 'Di ba
Yeah.
may mga ano ngayon. So that's something I realized as well. Eh paano yung mga businesses na walang BIR, walang something, so they won't get anything at all.
Wala,
Wala.
wala. Even if you check right now, you go to the BIR site, tapos lalagay mo yung tin mo, tapos check mo eligible ka, yun, hindi ka magiging eligible if meron ka, let's say, mga open cases na hindi mo nasara or may na-miss kang filing or yung mga ganon. Hindi ka, or even if hindi ka naka-register, syempre, register ka as employee. So, yun, hindi mo makukuha yung ganong subsidy.
Yeah. So anyways, yeah. So there's a lot of advantages of doing it. Make it ano paano ba yan? Paano ko sabihin? Make it right the first time
Oh,
or
yes,
the
yes.
start.
Parang comply the first time around pa lang.
Yeah. So yun, I thank you EJ, thank you Ginger for
Thank you.
allowing us to ask questions, no, about taxation. I know that's pretty critical for a business. And taxation, sometimes people have a negative connotation about taxation, but taxation is actually just a sign that we are able or we're better off than the others, no, like we're saying it's an opportunity for us to share our blessing as well, because we're able to pay taxes, and through those taxes we're able to help other people, especially those who are in need. So let's not think of taxation na panay tax na lang, but let's think of taxation as something na parang you're able to pay tax, it means you're capable, right? So
Mm, true.
that's something I like about taxation. Even though sometimes, syempre nagrereklamo ka pa na tax na lang. But still, you're able to pay taxes, meaning you're earning, right? So yun yung
Yeah,
something good.
true.
Oh,
right?
and maybe and to add to that, Murphy, so that's very enlightened of you. Actually, it's very good. Because and one way of looking at it also is that you really can't do anything about it anyway. At the end of the day, if you don't comply, you're a tax evader. Kahit na sabihin mong it's against my principles to pay, a fascist government, you're still on the hook because you're a tax evader. No? So that's the thing. If you're a business owner, one way of looking at things that I think is super productive is to look at it as a game. And taxes is just one of the rules of the game. That's a given. You enter the game, that's a given. No, so if you wanna succeed and if you wanna play the game, then those are some of the rules that you have to follow lang basically. No? So that's like yun.
Yeah. So yeah, and I think that's why we're there also as Taksumo, no. We offer that friendly face that you can talk to if you basically have questions on BIR, if you're struggling or if you're afraid to ask someone else, we're there to help you out. So yun, takbo lang sila sa amin. Kaya namin sila tulungan.
Or actually, because I seen you sa mga events, no? Doon ko kayo unang nakita. I think, hindi ako sure kung Investagrams din or yung mga SME Nation something. But I've seen
Mm-mm.
you do events. So I've seen you some there, right?
Mm-mm.
Finally may somebody is doing it, right? Because wala
Yeah.
talaga. That's my frustration, right? Kasi lahat tayo manual, manual, manual. But that's why I'll also reach out because this is something that for a full-time employee, this is something very helpful. I don't really need to think of about
True.
it. Just go ahead and have something to use that
Mm.
would eventually take my time away from doing it and somebody doing it
Yeah,
and do the important things that would
Yes.
help
true.
my business, right? So
True.
so that's it. So thank you again. Thank you, Jay. Thank you, Ginger. Thank you,
Thank you so much
Taksumo.
for having us, Murphy. Thank you so much.
And talk to you soon again. Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.